Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here with a CGC bulk return. So, fairly underwhelming return as far as some of the ones I've shown recently and some of the ones upcoming. I actually just paid up charges on a pretty exciting 400 card PSA return, which could still be a few weeks. I know once you pay the up charges, it doesn't mean it's necessarily coming back like that week or anything, but yeah, stay tuned for that down the line. Basically, what you see here, commons and uncommons from Jungle, Fossil, and Rocket, is all this was. It was 400 cards, and I sent it back out. You can see actually there's subgrades on these cards, which into the future, I've kind of discussed it before. Anything bulk, the lowest tier, I won't be doing subgrades on in the future. They're just charging too much for my taste. I think they're up to $7 a card or so for that service, and that's just more than it's worth to me, more than I think the market values it as far as resale value. Um, I'll kind of flip through these, but there's really not a ton to see. It's literally just CGC 9 Fossil Jungle Uncommons. That one's straight nines, kind of cool. But yeah, I did 400 cards, and what you see here is a little bit over 100. I might not even have grabbed all the nines, but I got hit really hard. I kind of sent out what I felt in my mind was like, I was pretty confident they would have been 70% or so PSA 9s had I sent to them. And then only 10 to 20% PSA 10s, and maybe the remainder PSA 8s, because these I kind of got out in a rush to capture that. I want to say all in with the subgrades, I was under $10 a card on these, with like the dealer discount through CGC, or through, I guess, price matching of the CGC discount through a middleman, through Ludkins. But yeah, I got hit so hard with CGC 8s, or sorry, 8.5s. A lot of the 8.5s too, they were like half a grade off from being CGC 9s. So I guess not that that's means too much. I mean, the number on there is still 8.5, but a lot of them are strong 8.5s. I kind of quickly looked up what the price of these cards are, and a lot of them are in the high 20s, low 30s. So as far as taking cards that raw would have sold for, I mean, a lot of these I sell on Troll and Toad for $1 to $2. So, except for like Psyduck, but this one, if I had to guess, it's probably over like 50, just because he's one of the more popular ones. And then obviously Jungle, your Pikachu, your Eevee, they're going to do a little bit better. You can see I sent quite a few more Psyducks too. But yeah, I mean, selling these, paying under $10 to grade a $1 or $2 card, and then being able to sell it in the 20s, it's not like gonna make me rich or anything, but my intent when I sent these out was, hey, the prices are going up. A lot of these cards might become unable to be graded if the prices go up high enough, and I kind of am finding that is the case. So I'm still glad to get this inventory. I wish I had looked through them a little bit better and didn't get so many 8.5s, but in the 400 card submission, I actually only got one CGC 9.5 gem mint and 0 10s, which I wasn't expecting any 10s. These are cards that I've picked over a few times in the past, and I've sent out progressively worse cards. And so if I had sent these to PSA, maybe I was estimating improperly. Maybe I would have only gotten 50% PSA 9s, a handful of 10s, and then a higher percentage of 8s than I would have enjoyed. But in any case, this is kind of decent inventory to just have. I forget what the tier is called, but I think it's like the premium store. I pay like $70 a month for my store, and I don't use anywhere near the amount of free listings that I get. So these cards will enable me to just fill out the store a little bit more and have a little bit. I mean, it's nice when if somebody's searching for any of this stuff, they'll find my store, and maybe they'll find something else they like in my store. And just, I've already got a bunch of these in like CGC 9 or PSA 9 or 10 in my store already. Maybe not Jungle and Fossil specifically, but like base set Unlimited, base set 4th print. I find that I sell a few of them a week, and oftentimes when I sell them, like, I'll get somebody to come through and just, hey, I see you've got 20 of these from Jungle, all graded CGC 9. Can I get a deal on one of each? And I've been successful in doing that quite a bit. So when you're able to do that and then ship several cards at once, you really save on the shipping, and you make the margin go up decently. So again, it's not killer business, but to make 10 or 20 bucks from a card you'd otherwise make 50 cents on is still decent to me. So yeah, that's going to be my plan with these. The 8.5s, again, years ago, you used to really get punished if you didn't get 10s. Now it's like anything down to even PSA and CGC 8s, you don't make a ton of money, but they're profitable still. So I'll price my 9s. I'll price all of these. I'll price all of these to just be the cheapest on eBay. One thing that I had kind of intended to, not for everything, but for like some of the excess, some of the heavy duplicates that I have, I intended to send a decent amount of these, maybe 20 or so a month, to PWCC for their monthly auctions. I've been selling a lot of cards like this, a lot of my excess stock through PWCC, their monthly auctions, up until, obviously, I made a video earlier on that addressed that situation. So I'm really keen to see. Tomorrow, PWCC is supposed to go live with their Buy It Nows. And in October, potentially early October, maybe mid or late October, they're supposed to go live again with their monthly auctions. Cards like this, they're not super high risk to send. I might just throw a handful of these towards them to go into a monthly auction to kind of be a guinea pig. If I get 10, 12 bucks for them, it might be to where I lose a couple bucks a card. But I've sold cards like, I've sold PSA 9 fossil Zubats that have sold through PWCC auctions and been paid for like higher than my Buy It Nows were at the same time. That's just a random example. I don't know if that was actually the case with that card, but yeah, I've had some reasonable sales. Again, nothing breaking the bank or nothing doing anything too crazy for me, but yeah, just a fairly laid back, a lot of duplication, kind of lower end. Some people might say junk slabs, but I personally collect these kinds of cards just in my binder. I've got mint sets of all of them, mint sets of all of them. So for me personally, like, these aren't cards that I collect slabbed, but there is still a market out there for them. And especially with PSA, I still have a handful of them out with PSA. You just can't really replicate it. Like, if you were to try to grade more of these now, you'd be paying 2 to 3 times more than I paid to get these. So in some ways, it's like a decent investment to get the cards into the slabs. I mean, it was months ago when I sent them to get the cards into the slabs, and now I've got inventory that, unless someone's got it in the backlog already, they can't really compete with my pricing on it unless they want to lose money, which in the coming 12 to 24 months, I think a lot of people will be losing money. I've already seen people offering entire submissions like this on Verbank or on eBay even. Some listings for like, oh, here's a 400 card submission of non-holo, 8.5s and 9s. Presumably people are doing it because the cards didn't do as well as they had thought. They maybe don't even have the money to pay the submission fees, but thankfully I've I've got the money set aside to pay the submission fees, and I'm not hurting to sell them. So I don't have any more cards like this out at CGC. So for me, this is like inventory that I can't restock for at least a couple years. So I'm willing to be very patient with these. And yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on all this. That's an overview of this return. As I said, I've got some other big returns upcoming, a little bit more exciting. Apologies if this was a bit too boring for anybody, but I think that I still hopefully the commentary was a bit interesting, and I just like to give you guys insight into the way I operate business. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch you all later.